Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video, doing European Outlook for today's second video. So as always on a Thursday, we're having a look at the weather for the next week, 2 days in detail across Northern Europe, and I shall get on that for you in a second. Just to say that the first video is our 7 AM upload. I've got a 10 to 14 day with all upgrade features coming for you later on this afternoon. Please like, share, subscribe on the video. So thank you so much everybody for doing that. The European Outlook, of course, is back after its Christmas layoff. So this week, we're all back to normal at the channel, really. So, yeah, we'll get on with European Outlook for you right now. Please like, share, subscribe on the vid. Thank you so much. Right, current situation across Europe today is that we've got a deep trough low pressure across the north and northeast Europe. That's putting cold air in from the north, and there could be some snow with that as well. And it's very cold across Scandinavia, northeastern Europe. Be cold Nordic and Scandinavian winter goes on. We've got a trough of low pressure across the central part of the Mediterranean. That's bringing heavy showers. Some areas range from the Azores into parts of France, southwest Europe, and this deep area of low pressure to the south of Greenland. That's bringing wet, windy weather and some snow into parts of Ireland and the UK. Upper air temperatures look like that. Coldest in the north and the northeast of Europe yet again. So very cold air extending down from Scandinavia, Baltic Sea regions through Estonia, Latvia, you know, those sort of areas, Lithuania, and in towards Poland as well. Further southwards and westwards, yes, it is quite cold through western parts of Europe as well, although becoming a little bit less cold across Ireland and the UK with this deep area of low pressure in the Atlantic. And down into the Med, as you'd expect, it's warmest there, but still pretty chilly actually through the central bowl of Med, in particular, warmest on both the eastern and western sides of the Mediterranean. Precipitation-wise, got wet and windy weather sweeping in from the Atlantic into Ireland and the UK. That's bringing some snow with it into northern areas in particular. Mainly dry, but actually across many parts of Western Europe, albeit quite cold. And then over on the east side of Europe, we've got some showers and some snow through parts of Balkans, and snow showers up into northeast Europe as well. But the emphasis even here is on main dry weather. Some heavy showers for themselves through the central bowl of Med. Temperature-wise, very cold across northern Europe, really bitterly cold up there. These cold temperatures do cover many parts of Europe actually today. The warmest temperatures probably through Greece and parts of Turkey and in the far southwest of Spain and Portugal as well. Right, tomorrow, Friday, low pressure will be pushing through into the north and the west of Europe as high pressure begins to slip southwards. That will start to take some slightly less cold air into some parts of Scandinavia, like Denmark, southern Norway, and Sweden. We'll see temperature lifting up a little bit there, but there could be some heavy snow involved in that. And it remains bitterly cold through the rest of northern and northeast Europe. Generally a cold scene across most parts of Europe, actually. Cold air coming back into the west as well, so the UK and Ireland turns colder once more tomorrow. Warmest areas down in the Mediterranean, but again, quite cool through there. Precipitation-wise, we've got outbreaks of snow pushing in towards southern parts of Norway and also Sweden and into Denmark too. Wet weather across parts of the UK. Showers and they could turn wintry, risk of some snow, perhaps even to more southern areas for a while tomorrow afternoon. And then a lot of dry weather though from Spain and Portugal all the way up towards eastern and northeastern parts of Europe, albeit it will be very cold in the northeast. But we do run into these really heavy showers breaking out through some parts of Italy and over towards Greece as well, because of big thunderstorms through there. Look how cold it is across much of northern Europe, really bitterly cold again across many parts of Scandinavia and into northeastern and eastern parts of Europe generally. There's a little bit of a lift up in the temperature through some parts of Sweden and Denmark, but that will probably be associated with some heavy snow. It's colder out to west of Europe as well, so the UK and Ireland turns colder, and even into eastern parts of France looking pretty cold through there. So many parts of Europe looking very cold actually. Tomorrow. Mildest weather is in the Mediterranean, and particularly in that eastern part of Med, but we do have thunderstorms there. On Saturday, next area of low pressure sweeping in from the Atlantic into west of Europe. That will bring further wet and windy weather, trying to push these milder westerly winds from the Atlantic into northern parts of Europe. So the upper air temperatures show that the coldest of the air is beginning to retreat a little bit further northwards and northeastward, but it is still generally a cold scene across much of northern, central and eastern Europe. Taking a little bit less cold out across the western part of Europe, and Mediterranean seeing a bit of a lift up in the temperature, especially so through Spain and Portugal, and relatively mild across eastern parts of the Med too. Parts of the Balkans and going northeastwards up towards the Ukraine, for example, looking quite cold through there, and there will be further outbreaks of rain, sleet and snow in this southeastern part of Europe. Of course, heavy showers and thunderstorms through the Mediterranean. Go a little bit further northwards, so inland, away from the Adriatic, and we'll probably pick up some snow through parts of southeastern Europe. Then we're going to have this wet and windy weather sweeping in to the UK and Ireland. That will push in towards northern France and the Low Countries, Belgium, Holland, Netherlands, maybe giving some snow on the leading edge as well. Lots of dry weather across Scandinavia, but there will be the leftover sort of snow from Friday in some areas. And then the western part of the Mediterranean looks mostly dry. Still a really cold scene on Saturday across much of northern, eastern and northeast Europe, becoming a little bit less cold though out in the west. On Sunday, that trough of low pressure pushes further eastwards. It is trying to introduce milder air from the Atlantic, but it's sort of weakening. You know, we're trying to raise pressure over Scandinavia, so this low pressure as it comes eastwards, running into that build of pressure, is beginning to weaken. It does turn milder, though, this weekend across western parts of Europe, but with the upper air temperatures we see that whilst the coldest of the air does retreat away towards northern parts of Scandinavia and northwestern Russia over the weekend, it does still stay generally cold across much of northern and eastern Europe. It's not much of a warmer, to be honest. Mildest temperatures out across western Europe and again through many parts of the Mediterranean. Precipitation-wise, also a bit of a mess. We've got showers and long spells of rain, maybe some sleet and snow mixed in across parts of western Europe, and then more general sort of snow through northern and eastern parts of Germany, maybe pushing in towards Poland. Lots of dry, cold weather with some snow showers across Scandinavia, and then heavy showers and thunderstorms from the Mediterranean into the southeastern portion of the Med, from Italy to the southeast portion of the Med. Temperature-wise, really cold again across much of northern, northeastern Europe, a little bit less cold though out across western parts of Europe. That high pressure strengthens over Scandinavia as we go through into Monday. It's a bit of a new trend within some bottle output today. High pressure strengthens on Monday over Scandinavia and starts to reach towards the Azores high as well. So just generally, it looks like generally high pressure beginning to take over across northern, western parts of Europe with a trough of low pressure through Italy and into the eastern part of the Mediterranean. Precipitation-wise, looks quite cold across much of northern, eastern Europe, and relatively mild though across western parts of Europe on Monday. Heavy showers and thunderstorms. Wettest weather is in the eastern part of the Med here from Italy towards Greece and Turkey. Some big downpours through there. A little bit wet and windy, perhaps in the far northwest Scotland. Otherwise, as that high pressure takes over, many parts of Europe are turning dry, but northern Europe will have some snow flurries. Very cold across northern, eastern, northeastern parts of Europe. Less cold or milder across western Europe and also across some southern parts of Europe as well. It's Tuesday. High pressure is beginning to take over the weather pattern over northern, central and some western parts of Europe as well, with a trough low pressure into the eastern part of there, keeping it unsettled there. Upper air temperatures are becoming less cold, but remember we've got a lot of low-level surface cold going on through this area of high pressure. So although the upper air temperature is lifting up with the ridge, down on the surface, because it's been so cold for so long across northern, northeast Europe, it will still be really cold. That's how precipitation looks on Tuesday. Lots of dry weather. Really, there is some outbreaks of light rain through parts of the UK, and that turns to snow as it pushes in towards Norway. And really big heavy showers and thunderstorms over on the east side of the Med. But otherwise, under the ridge, lots and lots of dry weather. But if I show you the dew points, you can see that actually it is really cold across much of northern, eastern, northeastern Europe. So there is a legacy of cold air that's down on the surface under that area of high pressure. Not too bad though. Out west is a little bit milder there through the early part of the week. And in terms of the actual two-mean temperatures, they look like this on Tuesday. So again, it is a cold scene across much of northern, central and eastern Europe, with temperatures staying below freezing all day. Mildest temperatures in the west and also across southern parts of Europe. High pressure really dominating weather as we go through into Wednesday. Large ridge from the UK all the way back into western parts of Russia. This is almost a Scandinavian high, but not quite. Just slips a little bit further southwards as have quite a bit of energy coming in from the Atlantic over the top. That does bring milder air into Scandinavia though as we go through into the middle part of the week with those upper air temperatures for northern Europe. Otherwise, under the area of high pressure, the upper air temperatures aren't too bad, but it will be cold under the surface of that high pressure across many parts of Europe. Precipitation-wise, you've got snow pushing from Norway in towards parts of Sweden. Some of that could be heavy and disruptive. Eastern parts of the Mediterranean from Black Sea down towards Greece and Turkey. Big showers and thunderstorms through there Otherwise, under the large ridge of high pressure, there will be a lot of dry weather. And temperature-wise, we look like this. Still very cold across much of Eastern and Central Europe, actually, under the surface of that high pressure. A little bit less cold through Scandinavia, though, with those westerly winds, although, you know, still cold enough for widespread snow through there. And western parts of Europe, probably starting to see some of that cold air from the east beginning to drift back westwards, actually, the surface cold. That's Thursday. Again, high pressure is dominating the weather across many parts of Europe. Northern Scandinavia, a little bit milder there with these westerly winds, but otherwise, under that area of high pressure, it will be cold, especially through central and eastern parts of Europe, maybe bitterly cold with sub-zero temperatures day and night. Looks rather unsettled through the Mediterranean. I would have thought the upper air temperatures look like that, so not too bad. Again, you know, quite a bit of mild air in terms of the upper air temperature, but down on the surface, under that high pressure, it will be quite cold. We do have a puddle of cold air that's come from Eastern Europe into Western Europe, by the way. That could deliver some snow, perhaps to parts of France, if that was to come up. Of course, it is a long way off. Precipitation-wise, again, lots of heavy showers and thunderstorms through this eastern part of the Med. Outbreaks of snow across northern parts of Norway and into Sweden, northern Finland as well. But once more, with high pressure dominating, it's going to be mostly dry under that area of high pressure, but it will be cold. Look at those temperatures on Thursday, and we see like a big old puddle of cold air across Eastern Europe. It has extended westwards into western parts of Europe as well. So through the middle and second half of the week, the temperature in Western Europe probably gets colder if that high pressure comes off and draws in the air from off the continent. Conversely, it's a little bit less cold over Scandinavia, but still, I think, cold enough for snow in many areas. I was just running on to day 10, so this is Friday next week. That high pressure beginning to slip a little bit further east as low pressure tries to come in from off the Atlantic. That could start to bring some wet weather into western parts of Europe and maybe some slightly less cold air there. Otherwise, many central east parts of Europe under that ridge of high pressure will remain cold. We've got to watch out and see if we fog out under that area of high pressure as well. It gives some dense fog. That's how it'll just get to day 10. So high pressure dominates across eastern parts of Europe. That brings lots of cold and frosty weather. A little bit more unsettled in Western Europe with showers, longer spells of rain. And there might be a little bit of snow involved with that over high ground, particularly in northern areas. Yeah, so it's an interesting week to come. That's a new trend that's being picked up upon by model output today. That area of high pressure setting up through the middle part of next week. That could bring a lot of cold weather actually to many parts of Europe under that high pressure, but also pretty dry as well. Of course, at the moment it's really cold across Scandinavia, northeastern Europe. But things will get a little bit less cold there next week. But conversely, there will be an increasing risk of snow, I think, through there. And quite unsettled down across southern Europe with heavy showers and thunderstorms, especially so in that southeastern corner of the Met. Right, so that's European Outlook this week. It's back in business for 2022. We're going to be back shortly with a 10 to 14 day that will include all of the regular features. So come back for that then. But for the European Outlook for this week, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.